Good morning, everybody. I am calling the roll at the beginning. So it is seen that means 34 students have joined, but according to the roll sheet, there are 37 students. So I am calling the roll, that's why. Please respond against my roll call. Shamin Hawk,
Present, sir.
Vishal Barmon,
Yes, sir.
Ognivo Chatterjee, has not joined. Abu Shoaib Sheikh,
Yes, sir.
Ananda Chakraborty,
Present, sir.
Motibur Rahman,
Yes, sir.
Debraj Banerjee,
Yes, sir.
Mausumi Soren,
Yes, sir.
Alamin Islam,
Yes, sir.
Muhammad Musabir Alam Midda have not joined. Amisha Parvin,
Present, sir.
Joyat Datto,
Present, sir.
Smith Rudro,
Present, sir.
Robin Chalak have not joined. Rishabh Mahajan,
Yes, sir.
Aritra Mal,
Yes, sir.
Vipradas Mandal,
Yes, sir.
Ruplika Roy,
Yes, sir.
Oindila Haldar,
Yes, sir.
Ruksanda Hussain,
Present, sir.
Anubhav Rai,
Yes, sir.
Rudranil Sardar,
Present, sir.
Polomi Das,
Present, sir.
Obhijit Das,
Yes, sir.
not joined. Manjur Alam Midda,
Yes, sir.
Nayan Soren,
Yes, sir.
Rajeshri Bhattacharya,
Yes, sir.
Jyotirindra Sarkar,
Yes, sir.
Shashwat Mukherjee,
Present, sir.
Swastik Kandilal,
Yes, sir.
Binay Kumar Rajak,
Present, sir.
Muhammad Yunus Ahmed, not joined.
Present, sir.
Jayanta Mondol,
Yes, sir.
Shobik Nag,
Present, sir.
Sambit বিশ্বাস,
Present, sir.
Akash Singh Rai,
Present, sir.
Devanik Barua.
Yes, sir.
So 3 students have not joined yet.
Sir,
Mohammad Musafir Alam India, Alam Midda. Then
So I'm roll number 49. I could not speak. My microphone was not working.
who is there?
Sir, Ogniva Chatterjee.
Roll number?
49.
What's your name?
Sir, Ogniva Chatterjee.
Yes, I have called you.
Sir, I had joined. I could not reply.
You have joined and you have responded.
Thank you, sir.
So I am identifying that means who have not joined yet. I think Muhammad Musabar Alam India has joined just now. Then Robin Chalak has not joined yet. Then Obhijit Das has not joined.
স্যার আমি অভিজিৎ দাস বলছিলাম
Uh,
স্যার মাইক্রোফোনটা কাজ করছিল না আর কি
so
Huh.
you are present. You are present.
Yes,
So
sir.
only one person, one student, Robin Chalak has not joined yet. Finally. So one student is absent. Anyway, I'm they're starting the laboratory classes virtual mode. So your experiment is calibration of watt meter with the help of DC potentiometer. Now, as all of you know, that means The wattmeter has a 3-terminal instruments. It has a current coil which is stationary or called the fixed coil, and it has a movable coil which is movable, and the fixed coils are connected in series with the load circuit. So these are wattmeters, so fixed coils are connected in series with the load circuit. The fixed coil is also split into two halves, identical half. So among them there is an air gap, and within the air gap the movable coil or moving coil is free to move. But the movable coil is connected in parallel with the load circuit via the series resistance. The cross sections of the movable coil is very small because it is called the potential coil, and the cross sections of the fixed coil is large because it carries the load current. So wattmeters are generally used for the measurement of the electrical power according to the scale. So it has a scale at the extreme depth end, and the amount of the deflection theta is directly proportional to the amount of the power consumed by the load. So this is there is no ferromagnetic part. That's why it is called the dynamometer type wattmeter, because these coils are the coils are not wound over any magnetic part, unlike in the case of the moving iron instruments or moving coil instruments. So this is the basic architect construction of the dynamometric wattmeter. It has a 3-terminal. One is the common terminal of one of the terminals of the fixed coil and the movable coil. And the 2 terminals, one is called the load terminal, marked as the load terminal, which must be connected in series with the load circuit. Another is the potential terminal. So that's in number 1, 2, 3 at the 3 terminals. So 3 terminals are there. One of the terminals of the current coil and the potential coil connecting a common point. So this connection is made internally or externally. Now, what is the calibration? That means the scale of the wattmeter must be the deflections of the wattmeter or the readings of the wattmeter must be compared with a reference instruments. That is by following the comparison method. So that means the 2 wattmeters may be used. One is a test wattmeter called, another is a standard wattmeter which has a 0 error. Otherwise, here the calibration is done with the help of the DC potentiometer, and this is a circuit, calibration circuit. So current coil is excited by a low voltage source via the rheostat, and the potential coil is excited by another source which is called the relatively high voltage source. So the voltage across the potential coil can be adjusted or varied with the help of potential divider circuit. Basically, this is a rheostat and this is also the rheostat. So current coil must be connected in series with this circuit, but when the current flows, then there will be a potential drop across the standard resistance having very low value, which are connected here. And so voltage proportional to the current coil current is drawn out, and it is measured by a DC potentiometer. So these terminals are connected to the DC potentiometer. Robin Charak has joined anyway. So in the potential coil circuit, similar thing is done, but in the potential coil, the voltage which has been set applied to the potential coil are drawn to the another device called the load box or load register box, which is nothing but a potential divider. Why? Because a potentiometer can measure only a very small voltage of about maximum 2 volt, a DC potentiometer. So that's why there is a need to reduce the voltage corresponding to the potential coil voltage to a very small value by a load ratio box, so that the final voltage after reducing the voltage by the help of the load ratio box can be limited or may be limited within the safe limit of the potentiometer circuit, that is 2 volt. Here also the voltage which is proportional to the load current is connected to the 2 volt circuit, to the voltage within that same range. So this is an unknown voltage and this is an unknown voltage. This voltage is a measure of the potential coil voltage, and this voltage is a measure of the current coil current. So these two voltage are measured finally by dividing the resistance value. Here the current coil can be measured. Now this circuit is called what? Where the current coil and the potential coils are excited separately, which is not the normal case of the wattmeter loading in an actual load circuit. So current coil and the potential coils are independently excited or energized with the help of the two DC source or potential source. This type of circuit is called the phantom loading circuit, phantom or ghosty loading circuit. Why? Because this is called the phantom loading circuit. In case of a phantom loading circuit, the two potential sources are required. But in case of a actual loading circuit, which using which the wattmeter is actually put into the AC circuit of the DC circuit, is called the normal loading circuit or physical loading. So what is why the phantom loading? What is the advantage? That means in physical loading, the total power consumed or drawn by the potential source is the sum of the power consumed by the load plus power wasted across the current coil circuit due to the resistance of the current coil, however it may be small, and the power lost due to the pressure coil circuit. So under rated conditions, say for the current coil, because the pressure coil of the voltage coil of the wattmeter is excited with a fixed voltage, it should not vary. Only the current coil should vary in a calibration circuit, so that under rated condition, that is full load condition, there will be a amount of the power loss or power consumed by the load. So this power will not be utilized or consumed by the load. So the power requirement, the power to be delivered by the source is equal to the total power, part of which is consumed by the load and the part of which is the dissipated power due to the electrical loss. That is very high. So the power supply rating is very, very small. That's why there is a need of using there is a need to perform the calibration circuit using the two potential sources. One is the high voltage source and another is the low voltage sources of about 9 to 6 volt, 6 to 9 volt. So that in this circuit, we can see only the dissipated power, that the power will be consumed or the dissipated by the current coil and the pressure coil. So there is no physical power which is consumed by the load. So load is not present here. But the wattmeter can be operated under different loading conditions. So that's why this is the advantage, because the power requirement of the two supply source will be much, much smaller than this. So the calculation shows these things. So total power requirement of this phantom loading circuit is 11 watt plus 81 watt, that is 92 watt. But here in the actual loading circuit, the total power requirement is 11 watt, it is the loss power, plus the load power, which is 1980. So 1991 watt is the required power. That should be supplied or derived from the single power source. But here only the two potential source can supply the power, the sum of which is equal to only the 92 watt. So 1/10 of the power will be required. not 1/10. So that means that if you calculate the ratio 92 by or this amount, this will be very much small. So that is why in calibration of wattmeter, phantom loading circuit is followed up. Anyway, your experiment, objective of the experiment is to calibrate the dynamometer type wattmeter with the help of DC potentiometer. So this is the actual circuit. You can see the circuit. This is a potentiometer. So DC potentiometer, that means with the help of the standard, with the help of the potentiometer supply, that is DC power supply E2, which is very 2 volt, because potentiometer in a DC potentiometer, the length of the wire is about 1 meter, but in the form of circular form, if we see the construction of the potentiometer. So the current must be adjusted by the potentiometer circuit, potentiometer wire, so that the potential drop which will occur due to the current flow through the potentiometer wire is very, very small. So the full potential drop over the potentiometer wire is about only 1.9999 volt or 2 volt. Now, if we apply the unknown voltage, either V1 or V2, so there is a null circuit, that is galvanometer circuit. So that what will happen, by adjusting the potentiometer's different knobs which are set, there is a decade knob, so that the voltage drop can be, voltage up to the potentiometer can be set, and it can be compared with the unknown voltage, either V1 and the V2, until and unless a null deflection over the galvanometer is produced. At this condition, by taking the reading of the potentiometer knob directly in volt, we can directly get what is the value of the V1. That means this method is called the measurement of the unknown voltage with the help of the DC potentiometer by calibration by null method. Now here the instrument is, let me say, RH1, the current limiting resistance of the current coil, and R1, a standard 4-terminal resistance made of brass or copper. This is required so that what will happen, that means this is the R1, the 4-terminal resistors, so that the current, the voltage proportional to the current flowing through the current coil can be accurately measured. So resistance is very, very small. What will be the value of the R1 and the RH1? RH1 is a potential divider resistance which measures the, that means voltage proportional to the volt ratio box. So ultimately these form the unknown voltage V1, which is proportional to the load voltage applied across the potential coil, and V2 forms the potential which is proportional to the current flowing through the current coil circuit. So RH1 is called the current limiting resistance. That means a current is allowed to flow through the low resistance, and there will be a potential drop, which is a measure of the current flowing through the current coil. So the current coil must be excited by E1, very low voltage supply of the order of 2 volt, and E2 is a voltage. E2 is this voltage, which is nothing but a stabilized DC supply or voltage circuit. So this voltage can be adjusted. In our case, the voltage is set to 100 volt, not 220 volt, 100 volt DC. About the circuit. Now, how the voltage are measured? First of all, potentiometer before the measurement should be standardized. Means that means the trial of the potentiometer for the measurement should be set accurately so that there is no error. For each run, or fifth observation or measurement, at the time of the measurement, the first task is to standardize the potentiometer. For that, a standard cell generally used. What is the meaning of the standard cell? That means the voltage of the standard cell should be given, and by unknown voltage is nothing but the standard cell. So there is another terminal where the standard cell is connected. But these voltage should be isolated during the standardization process. Now, the potentiometer wire current should be adjusted in such a manner and setting the dial to a marked value which is equal to the voltage of the standard cell predetermined, and following the null method, null deflection method. So this is the wire current should vary, which means by adjustment of the wire current, potentiometer wire current, the voltage is accurately set to that of the standard cell. This process is called the standardization of the potentiometer before use in the laboratory. Then there is no use of the standard cell, so this will be isolated. After standardization, the voltage unknown, two unknown voltage are to be measured with the help of the DC potentiometer. These are the method. These are the equipment list which are specifically used for the laboratory experiment. A DC potentiometer, a volt ratio box, multiplying factor is 100, that means the input voltage is 100 volt. After adjustment of the DC stabilized power supply, so using this amount of the ratio, that is 1:100, how much voltage we can get across the V1 terminal? It is 1 volt, which is in the limit of the DC potentiometer. So that's why according to this range and rating of the volt ratio box, this is 100 multiplying factor. The full scale rating of the wattmeter is 100 watt, because in case of a wattmeter, the scale is directly measured in deflection unit. So how much amount of the watt has been consumed, what is the process? That means the deflection should be noted and the deflection value should be multiplied by the multiplying factor, which will depend on the current rating and the voltage rating of the two coil. That's why there is no unit over the scale, you can see. But after multiplying the multiplying factor to which has been said, the actual watt can be measured using the deflection or noting the deflection. So this is all about the process. And these are the what is the rating of the rheostat? This is 2 kilo ohm. And what is the rating of the standard resistance? That is 0.1 ohm, very small. How the 0.1 ohm can be set? By using a thick copper bar or made of brass. So that's why the value of the standard resistance should be less than 1 ohm, very small value resistance. But the value of the RH1 is high, that is 200 ohm. So this is the current limiting resistance of the current coil. So these are all salient points of the equipment used in the specific circuit. A galvanometer is not a normal galvanometer, it is an optical or spot reflecting galvanometer. That is 0 to 100 volt. So these are the main procedures which I have said. Make the connection as indicated. Apply to the potentiometer, allow time, say 15 minutes. Why this is required? To avoid to eliminate the uncertainty. That means after switching the DC supply to the potentiometer and all parts, there is a transient. In fact, AC or DC transient will be there. So due to which the transient drift, the voltage and the current, which are measured by the different meters in the circuit, that is ammeter and the voltmeter, reading will vary. So when these will be settled, some times will be allowed to settle. And also for temperature stabilization inside the potentiometer, that is due to the heating effect, the wire resistance will increase. So when the temperature stabilization means, that means when there will be no rise of the temperature due to the heating effect, then the resistance value of the potentiometer wire will be constant. So that's why some time will be required before starting the experiment. Now the standardization process. In case of a standardization process, the standard cell, which is is built to it. The standard cell basically here is either battery or Western cell, the value of which is will depend on the room temperature of the laboratory. So day to day it will vary. Otherwise, at a room temperature of 27 degrees, the value is 1.0186. If the temperature increases, the standard voltage of the standard cell, that will decrease. So that's why there is a need to note down the temperature by using the thermometer and to calculate the value of the standard cell corrected at the room temperature in volts. So these must be less than 1.0186. But standardize the potentiometer based on the value of the SC EMF with the test wattmeter de-energized. That means all the wattmeter, that is the V1 and the V2, will not be connected. Okay, so connect the wattmeter to the potentiometer upon standardization means, that means when the null will be obtained when measuring or comparing the standard voltage with the potentiometer potential drop. That is the objective of the standardization process. That means which means set the potentiometer wire current to such a value, that means the potential drop will be equal to the set value. The set value is equal to the predefined value obtained by the standard cell. So connect the wattmeter, then the standard cell should be eliminated from the circuit, potentiometer circuit, and connect the wattmeter to the potentiometers as indicated. These things according to the circuit. Only V1, V2. At a time, only V1 or V2 can be measured. That's why there is a potentiometer, there is a selector switch, that means standardize, then test. So during standardize, the selector switch should be set to the standardize, marked to the standardized point. Otherwise, in a normal point, it is set, the selector switch of the potentiometer must be set to the test mode. I will show the videography so that how the potentiometer looks like this. Then the specimen observation for the experiment is you have to note down according to the voltage and how this voltage from the voltage, the wire current and the potential, the value of the potential coil voltage should be measured. These are the relationship. Now objective is to find the percentage rating of the measured value and the actual value. That's why the current of the potentiometer should be set. The current should be adjusted by adjusting the current coil starting from the, that means percentage of the full scale, that is 40% of the rated value. Here the rated value of the wattmeter coil current is 5 ampere. So 40% of that 5 ampere, 60% of the 5 ampere and the 80% mark of the 5 ampere or 100%, that is the full scale rated value should be adjusted, the current coil. And the voltage coil voltage should be allowed to be constant at 100 volt for all types of the observation. So you will get the 5 reading starting from the 40%, 60%, 80%. Then 40%, 60%, 80%, you have to calculate the observed watt and the true watt and their percentage data. So this is the form of the table. You have to fill up after performance of the experiment. If sample readings are often which will be supplied to you, and there are two modes of taking the reading according to the experimental circuit. In the wattmeter connections normally used in the wattmeter, this is not the connection. What is the connection? That means 3 terminals. So the two of the, that is 3 terminals are formed. That means potential coils and the current coils should be connected with an external link. But here in the phantom loading circuit, the 4 terminals are observed. That means there is no connection between the current coil and the potential coil. So that's why there is no link. So you have to incorporate the link. That is the link in the phantom loading circuit. This is the phantom loading circuit. So one terminal of the PC and the one terminal of the PC should be connected via a copper link. So without pressing the link and with pressing the link, there will be a difference in the test wattmeter. Why? Because whenever you press the link, the potential is common to one terminal of the potential coil and the common terminal. And there will be a electrical coupling. That means this potential will alter the potential of the current coil circuit, and vice versa. This potential will affect the potential coil circuit. So this is not the independent, although in phantom loading, we are setting the circuit independently, but when the link is placed, this circuit is dependent on this circuit and the vice versa. So that will alter not the voltage, but the current coil current. So the current coil will vary when there is no link and there is a link. So that's why in the sample reading, sample observation reading, you will get the different value without link and with link, which is very, very small. In with link, the current coil, the current of the current coil will increase to some extent, so that the voltage across the current voltage proportion of the current coil is different, not it is 0.0, because the significance, physical interpretation of significance is like that. In phantom loading circuit is a without link circuit, but in actual use of the wattmeter, this is the condition of the wattmeter after placing the link. So this value is taken to be more practical, because the purpose of the calibration of the wattmeter is to finding the error of the wattmeter scale, and the wattmeter should be used with link condition. So for each reading, that is keeping the voltage constant and varying the current, you will get the 2 reading. For 20% of the full scale current, there will be 2 reading. 40% of the full scale current, there will be 2 reading. Likewise, 100%, that is the at rated value of the full scale current, there will be also the 2 reading. So these are the nature of the reading. So you have to draw the calibration curve under report showing percentage error versus wattmeter reading, W0. So y-axis will be the percentage error according to the formula, and x-axis is the wattmeter reading. Which wattmeter reading? The test wattmeter reading, W0. Because WT is called the true wattmeter, that means true wattmeter reading you can calculate, you can compute from the potentiometer. So according to the formula, there are 2 watt value, W0 or W2. WT is called the true wattmeter without zero, without any error. W0 is called the observed wattmeter with error. And you have to draw the calibration. This calibration will be a segmented curve, not the smooth curve, because there will be a 5 point according to the observation. So 2 sets of the curve will have to be plotted over the same graph paper, millimeter graph paper. One graph with a preferably with a different color, that is with link condition and without link. Another graph which is a superimposed curve over on the same graph paper with link condition. So that only the single graph paper showing the with link and the without link are to be plotted. Try to understand and follow the instruction. So how much readings are there basically? According to the percentage variations of the load current 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5. So there will be 5 over the graph, and each point to be joined with a line segment. So it is not a smooth curve passing through all the points. It will be a curve starting from the 0 value to 1 point, and then 1 point by a line, then another third point should be connected with another line having different slope with the previous points, and likewise when you complete the when you include the last point at 100% over the curve. So the nature of the curve is not shown here, you have to draw it. Now I am showing the actual videography of the laboratory experiment. Try to follow. The sound is very small anyway, normal sound. You can see the every physical experiment. So can you see the videography?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the videography clearly?
Yes, sir.
across this resistance, we are taking terminal 3 is this potentiometer, which we will measure and get the value, the calibrated value, which will calculate it later. What happens? This is the voltage supply potentiometer. This is the 2-volt voltage supply, and it is connected to the potentiometer. This terminal of DC potentiometer, galvanometer, is connected. This terminal, this standard cell, is connected. This is the galvanometer we are using for null detection, and this is the wattmeter we are calibrating. Before starting the test, we need to check the zero error of this wattmeter. As you can see, the pointer is in zero, so we need to check this before test, get the correct result. As you can see, the power supply, the voltage supply is there 100 volt. So we are getting voltage supply to the voltage circuit is 100 volt, and the volt ratio box is 100 by 1. So we are supposed to get 1 volt into this potentiiometer. So before doing the test, we need to standardize this potentiometer. So we are putting in this standardized mode, and by tuning this standard cell voltage, and the rheostat, we will standardize this potentiometer. As you can see, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. So we can say that the DC potentiometer is not standardized, and you can start the test. And so we are switching this method to the test. So for this 21, we will calibrate the potential coil. So as you know, the potential coil is charged with this 100 volt, and through this volt ratio box, we are getting approximately 1 volt in this terminal. So change the selector switch, terminal 1, and you can see this potentiometer is in test mode. Now you can do when we click at the push button, you see there is a deflection in the galvanometer. Now by varying the main slider and the vernier slider, total value will be n slider plus 1 n slider into h. Now we have checked now the output voltage V1 for 20 watt for with link and without link connection. We need to take the value what meter also these two ready. Now calculate the current. That means we will check the voltage of V2 and the resistance R, which is connected in terminal C. So I will change the selector switch 3 and the range as well. Now for the same process, we will check whether there is reflection in the galvanometer. See that there is a difference. Try to modify this by adding slide and the voltage. Now you can see we have achieved the there is no reflection. In the same way, we will take the value, we will take the reading of the current coil calibration and further we will connect the link, connect the PC coil with the current coil and do the same process. Check our condition, the circuit is balanced or not. We will do the same thing again. We will switch level and get the null point.
So now you have seen the demonstration, video demonstration, and every equipment, the outlook of the every device equipment and the whole experimental circuit according to this experimental circuit diagram. So this is your circuit diagram. Now for different value of the current coil setting in percentage, so wattmeter will give the different deflections and the true watt should be measured with the help of potentiometer. So that is the objective. Now the sample readings, a typical sample data or observations which has been noted after performing the experiments looks like this. So these will be supplied to you. The two observations according to the formula, the true watt, and these are basic reading. Utilizing the basic reading, this table has been filled up. So you need to draw the curve, this column data, that is wattmeter error, and the wattmeter reading, that is W0, this reading, the second column reading. So you have to draw the millimeter two set of curve or graph corresponding to link or with link or without link. So that is the objective of the experiment. Now, if you have any question, then you can ask the questions right now. Do you have any questions for performing the experiments and other things on the formula? If you do not have, then I will be supplying the other data. Also this presentation and the sample data and the videography, I think, has been sent by a shared link. I think the videography. You check your mail, because the video file is an MP4 file and there is large, bigger. That's why there is a send a shared link or link address of the Google Drive. So, do you have any questions? If you have any questions, please ask. Yes.
স্যার বলছি যে রিপোর্টটা লিখে আপনাকে মানে লিখতে
Please
হবে
louder.
স্যার বলছি যে রিপোর্টটা প্রিপেয়ার করতে হবে তো, মানে আপনি যে ডেটাটা দেবেন সেটা থেকে?
হ্যাঁ, অবশ্যই।
স্যার সেটার ফরম্যাটটা কি রকম হবে?
এটা ফরম্যাটটা এরকম হবে। এটাও দিয়ে দেবো। Experiment number 2, title of the experiment, then objective, then circuit diagram. Here the apparatus list should be included after objective. Here the apparatus list will appear, then circuit diagram. Procedure, in order to write procedure, but you have to show the experimental table, 2 tables. Then at the last, draw the calibration curve. These things, and the sample calculation, because sample calculation, how you have got the reading to fill up the second table.
ওকে স্যার। আর স্যার কবে জমা দিতে হবে?
On or before 7 working day generally, but there is a relaxation, not very, that is after, it is not like that after 1 month you will submit the report via mail, preferably by maximum 2 weeks.
Okay, sir.
Sir?
If the date of submission is beyond the 2 weeks from the date of the experiment, then there will be a penalty like that.
Sir, do you also need to write the procedure from there?
No, that's I'm
Okay,
telling,
sir.
no procedure. You need
Okay,
not
sir.
write the procedure. You need not write the procedure. So this is the instruction manual which I have shown. This is the instruction manual. This is the instruction manual. So instruction manual contains the procedure, but you need not to write the procedure, this part. But only you have to include the observation, the 2 tables and the graph. Before that, you have to include the apparatus list. The apparatus list is given here. This is the apparatus list. So 9 equipment has been used. Exactly this information.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
স্যার সার্কিট ডায়াগ্রামে যে ভোল্ট বক্সটা আছে ওর কাজটা একবার বলে দেবেন?
কোনটা?
ভোল্ট বক্স বলে V1 যেটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি।
যেটা ভিডিওগ্রাফিতে বললো, এটা প্রথমে আমি বললাম যে এখানে ভোল্টেজ পোটেনশিয়াল কয়েলের রেটেড ভোল্টেজ, পোটেনশিয়াল কয়েলের ফিক্সড ভোল্টেজ হচ্ছে 100 ভোল্ট, adjusted voltage 100 volt from the DC supply. But potentiometer cannot accept the 100 volt high voltage. Potentiometer can handle the unknown voltage up to maximum 2 volt. So that's why there is a need to reduce the voltage. So basically it is a potential divider circuit, the volt box. So that, and using the multiplying factor 1:100, we'll get the 1 volt, which is of the and potentiometer. Otherwise, for current coil, there is no need, because the voltage drop across the standard resistance is within the 1 volt. Why? For a maximum value of the current, that is at the rated value of the current coil is 5 ampere, and the resistance value is 0.1, so it will be 0.5 volt only. And 0.5 volt is safe limit within the 2 volt. That is applied across the V2 terminal. So there is no need to use the volt box in the current coil circuit. Only the volt box should be used in a potential coil circuit.
Okay,
Understood
sir.
the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So right now, that means I will supply this presentation, this instruction manual or sheet, and the videography, shared link of the videography. Immediately I will be supplying via your group mail. If the group mail is for whole section A, I don't have any specific group mail of A2.
স্যার আমাদের হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপ আছে এটুর, আপনি মেলে পাঠিয়ে দিলে আমরা গ্রুপে সাপ্লাই করে দেব।
Okay, that is up to you, but I will send all these details to the group mail, that is group mail ID, common mail ID to section A1.
ওকে স্যার।
Now, another notification is for your third year class on programmable logic and the microcontroller, which has been fixed on the Friday tomorrow. Do you know?
Yes sir, from 6:30 to 8 p.m.
From 6:30 tomorrow.
Yes sir.
Okay, but this is for only for tomorrow. Otherwise, generally this class will be held on Wednesday, each Wednesday at 10:30. Agreed?
না স্যার, অ্যাকচুয়ালি প্রত্যেক দিন ওই মানে বুধবার সকালবেলা 11টা থেকে প্রত্যেক দিনই A1 এর ল্যাব থাকে, মানে এটা এখন ওইটার জন্য
A1 এর ল্যাবটা তো লিমিটেড ডেট, সাপোজ শেষ হয়ে যাবে। ইনিশিয়ালি যখন ল্যাব থাকবে A1 এর, তখন সেই দিনগুলো শুক্রবার করব। যখন ল্যাব কমপ্লিট হয়ে যাবে তখন জেনারেলি আই উইল টেক দ্য ক্লাস অন ওয়েডনেসডে at 11. Anyway, tomorrow you have to attend the classes on this because the class has not started yet. So that's why this is a notification. Tomorrow, Friday at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, sir.
For whole section, that is section A. Okay. So thank you for attending the virtual laboratory classes. Okay.